Whoa. Oh. No, I don't like this. Why does this always happen? Is this even good? Okay, it's good. Just wanted to make sure before I start the stream and then the audio just be crap. I really need to get a new headset because this is just getting annoying at this point. Either way, I did a ton of stuff in Minecraft yesterday. Like how I built these pillars. Built them all. I've actually found like an amethyst geode yesterday, and I went to go get a lot of tuff. Or I had a lot of tuff, and I decided that I would use this. Or use it to make this. This is actually almost all my amethyst. And whatever I had left from that, I then used in this. Which basically, you see this circle is basically going to be like a portal. Because, basically the lore is that my world is, this is not just my world. I'm not the only being in this world. This being has many gods, kings, overlords, other stuff like that. But you know what? We're only going to really be focusing on the 3 main goddess and goddesses, or whatever you want to call them, overlords of the 3 dimensions. Or it could actually be 4, since, you know, in the whenever 1.19 comes out, it'll be 4. Oh, y'all, I'll tell you in just 1 second. So basically, there's 3 overlords in 1.18, but in 1.19 there'll be 4. I'll get to that later. But the main ones right now are the overworld, the nether, and the end. That's why I had to spawn I'm gonna do a big nether and end project. The nether one will probably be the next one I do, because I think I might have accidentally finished the spawn proofing of the end off camera, so that I don't know at this point. Either way, so basically the overworld is like the stereotypical overlord. He wants land, he wants power. And, you know, he decided that, you know what? If, you know, he couldn't have the nether and the end, then no one could. So he tried to take the end and the nether over. The nether said nope. The end had been weakened to the point because the nether, at the time, had killed like the ender dragon. The nether and the blazes, the piglins had just raided and completely ransacked just the entire end. Nothing left behind. They left nothing behind. Nothing left. They stole the dragon eggs, because there was only 2 dragon eggs, and one of them, guess what? The nether stole it because they have dragons. The overworld has my dragon. The overworld dragon is basically just like a regular dragon. It could be like white, red, blue, whatever you want to. It doesn't really have any specific power. It more just has the power of like Earth. And you know, it can like control Earth. It can like reshape it to whatever it sees fit. The nether is fire dragon, and the end is the ender dragon, right? So they wanted to breed an ender dragon with since they also captured one of the earth dragons before this somewhere in the timeline. So they wanted to breed the overworld dragon with the nether dragon, and then the nether and overworld dragon with the ender dragon, to see what they would get, because they would get like the ultimate dragon, be super ultimate power, you know. The overworld said no, so they started war with the nether. And then, you know, since the end was at a low, they decided to just take over the end. The overworld took over the end and everything. The overworld just, you know, took it over. They spawn-proofed the place. They basically wiped out the entire... They basically tried to wipe out the entire Enderman race. Of course, they didn't wipe out fully, or else we wouldn't have any Endermen. But the Endermen are kind of just the last piece of civilization. There used to be many other Ender things. And the only reason that Endermen spawn the only other really life is shulkers. Shulkers are basically just people, or shulkers, you know, like they have like human heads. Well, those are actually just people. The overworld had like traders who didn't want to take over the land, so they just turned them into shulkers, and then they permanently embowed them to whatever entity they wanted them to protect. The Endermites are basically the last others piece of civilization. The Endermen were always there. They just managed to survive. They were cutting it close to extinction. And then the Ender Dragon, you know, the Ender Dragon, we killed the last and final Ender Dragon. So now there's only one Ender Dragon in existence, and the Nether has that one. So I'm probably gonna build a build to where like the overworld trying to take over the Nether, and because basically my character is like basically like the god, the overlord of like the overworld and everything, and he made a lot of enemies with the End and their forces in the Nether too. So basically they tried to kill him, you know. They tried to get all their land. I tried to take their dimensions back because he tried to colonize them, and he was succeeding. So he built this entire castle to stop himself from getting found. Okay, so he built this entire castle, right? And then he decided that he wanted to blend in. He wanted to blend in with other castles, right? Because this castle was really just on the ground. And you see like those little like underlayers? Those were technically just basements, dwells, other stuff under the castle. But one day the Nether and the End they for some reason teamed up just to take down the overworld. So they decided to take them down. Whoa. I thought someone was behind me. I'm thinking of stuff too, but I'm still spiritual Halloween. From Halloween. Oh yeah, Creeper also blew up the thing. I'm getting off thing. So he hid inside. So the Nether and the End teamed up. They tried to, you know, disable the Overlord. They tried to kill him, so all his power would be lost. And you know, how did he get? Oh, about to say, was that a creeper? I thought a creeper managed to get into my base. That's like, how did he get up here? Never mind. I was just paranoid. Well, either way, yeah. So the End and the Nether teamed up for once just to take down the Overworld Overlord, which is me, right? They tried to take down me and my character and, you know, all his soldiers and men. They managed to take down most of the soldiers and men. All like the abandoned structures, like the desert temples, jungle, all the temples in the overworld or like ruins were basically just from the overworld's men just being overrun by the End and the Nether, right? So after they overwhelmed him and after the overworld forces, they came straight to him. And to blend in, he decided to get the last remaining men, and he basically, you know, like speed run built like an entire castle just to blend in. It took almost a year for the Nether and the End to find him because he had to be on the runaway, but he had a secret location. That's where he built the castle. But you know what? They found the castle and they thought that maybe he was in there. So you know what? They tried to, you know, destroy the castle, but they ended up only raising it out the ground. And since the Nether had, you know, like all like the fungi and has all the crimson and like all like the biomes, they ended up combining with the overworld biomes. So they made like the new 1.17 cave biomes. The crimson and the warped forests combined with regular forests to make azalea, and you know, the black stone, the regular stone, and in a second I'll tell you about the other stone combined to make dripstone. So you know what? They all like the stones from all the different dimensions just combined to make dripstone. and they ended up leaving a landmark. They ended up leaving dripstone and azalea like all over the castle. They also ended up breathing basically new life into the base. So now all the nature's trying to take over, and they spurted out these these amethyst shards, and the amethyst shards eventually grew, and they formed these tough calcite and amethyst shards on both sides of the castle. And you know, basically the entire castle just raised up to the ground and basically infested with all types of new life, and basically just life itself, bamboo, everything. But at the time, I was not in the castle. I was somewhere else with the remaining citizens of life, you know? Remaining citizens of life. And then when I came back, I saw the castle was rose out the ground. And I decided to use one thing that me and the other soldiers and men developed in, like, a lab. We developed the elytra. Or not the elytra, basically a new type of elytra, because in my world, the old elytra was like you could only glide with it. It didn't actually have the capabilities because they had to toughen it up so that it could actually not break apart as soon as you fired up a firework rocket. So they made it super duper tough, and they decided to test it out. So since it was in the sky and there was a ton of new life breathed into it, he tried to fly up there, and it was a success. But just in case if he ever ran out of fireworks or his elytra broke somehow and they had to repair it, he made this cool water stream so he could get up and out of the base. Either way, he decided to put more and more construction into it, and then he made like all this stuff. He made that tower, but it would eventually overcome by the azalea and everything. He also made this city, and while this was actually supposed to be this was like a medieval kingdom at one point, but after, you know, the end came through, or he had basically reconstructed like a modern city after like the end and nether came through. I went back to fighting. Well, he just built up his entire defenses, so now he has an entire base of just fortress, base just solitude. So now in the final thing I do on this world, it will just be me it'll basically just be end times, apocalypse, basically judgment day. Will or the nether and end in overworld will finally find each other. They will fight, and then one of them will be the winner. Will be the winner of the final fight, and they'll basically just whoever wins will basically just. Or I'll make a copy of the world, actually, because I want to save this. But you know what? I'll just make a copy of the world, but in the timeline, it would not have been a copy. Whoever lost or won, I haven't decided yet, would basically just take a whole bunch of just explosive TNT, basically just anything explosive in the game. They would take some redstone, a redstone torch, like a lever or button or something, and they would absolutely annihilate the other two, or actually coming soon, 3 other sides. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about the 3 main sides in 1.18 for whenever Minecraft was created. I don't know, whenever all the dimensions came in. And I'm going to talk about the new 1.19 Overlord that will be coming. I'll be making a project for him. And that will be the Deep Dark Dimension Overlord. Basically, the Deep Dark in my universe is basically just the corrupted. Basically, just one corrupted man in my world decided to, you know, go to the underground after he was kicked out of normal, just human society, or at least in Minecraft, normal human society. He went down there and he made, his own civilization. But after one day, he decided to agree with like witches and pillagers, and they ended up turning him. And he ended up turning into the first ever warden. The first, and the original warden, the king of wardens. The big, ultra, mega, basically just the head of wardens. After that, they started turning his soldiers into wardens. So now whenever you see a deep dark city, you'll know that, those wardens that are sniffing you out? Yep, those were people once. They were turned into wardens. And, if we can, after I build like the deep dark project, if and only if we can, I may just make like a dimensional hole made of glass, and we might actually trap a warden like inside the glass or like dimension rift, so that you can like see him just poking out. You know, he was basically locked away a long time ago by the overworld, because they didn't want him taking over like the what's it called, by like basically just taking up the like what's like on the surface of the world. So they banished him to like a secret dimension, and you know, ever since he's been trying to break out. And in the 1.19 update, he managed, because the whole deep dark thing has just been, you know, it would basically just destroyed. The entire thing was just disintegrated, and they placed this unbreakable material called bedrock. So even if the deep dark was to reform, that, you know, no one could even access it. No one could go down here and help him escape. But in 1.19, one of his cultists, or like one of the people who worship the wardens, decided that they would try to use a dimensional portal, and basically they helped the warden basically shape the underside of the overworld. So now in 1.18, the warden cultist, they managed to make the world deeper so that they would have enough room to not be noticed by the overworld and be able to start the deep dark. And then in 1.19, their vision has come to, you know, farewell. And now the deep dark dimension is reforming, and all their broken down cities are starting to be repaired. And you know, I will probably repair one, and I'll probably repair one myself whenever they come out, if I can find one, that is, and not just immediately get died. Hopefully the wardens don't respawn, because that would actually suck. Or, you know, I would have to trap the only warden. Hopefully they don't respawn. Like say, I'm just hoping that if there's like one warden in the deep dark city, like no other wardens can spawn if you like trap that one, or else it would mean doom. It would mean doom to me. I'll die probably 1,000 times. I'd have come down there with a totem of undying like every single time. Either way, so you know what? They brought him down, and you know, they're reforming. I would have, the overworld, since you know I'm like the overworld overlord, I would have tried to, you know, reconstruct the deep dark and everything like that. Reconstruct it up, and I could use it for myself. I made sure to build it in the exact same spot, the deep dark, in the exact same like overlord deep dark city, where the warden, or the king of wardens, tried to come out. So you know, I could protect it. You know, I can make sure that he doesn't escape. Either way, you know, that I think that's enough for lore today. So you can see all this. This is all lore. Oh, hello, fellow viewer. I know that is not me, because unless I have integral brain damage, I do not have my phone on, and I'm not watching the stream. Hello, fellow viewer. Well, sorry about you kind of just missed like the entire lore of this world. So I wouldn't mind if you just wanted to like roll back a little, and you know, just, you know, look at the lore, because just to give you a rundown, we got 4 overlords, or 3 right now. In 1.19 there will be 4. Basically, I'm just gonna tell you the 4 from 1.9, or in 1.19 I'll just tell you the 4. In 1.18 currently we have the overworld overlord, the nether overlord, and the end overlord. But in 1.19, whenever the warden comes out, we'll have the king warden, the warden overlord. So you know what, I wouldn't mind if you just want to roll back that. I do have to check something real quick. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm back. Wait a second. Oh, there we go. Both microphone, audio, and gameplay are beginning broadcasting. Okay, thank you. Either way, you know, you got all that lore. If you want to, you can roll back. Well, either way, I'm going to stop making my Lovecraftian Dream SMP Feels a Hardcore Season 4 lore, and I'm going to get into actually playing Minecraft. So today, I'm actually going to try to, you know, what's it called? I'm going to try to build some chains, trying to hold down my base to stop them from escaping. Basically, the nether's trying to stop or they basically chained it down to stop this like castle from just like permanently ascending and basically just hitting the stratosphere and just never ever stopping. So they decided to chain it down, and the chains are gonna be made out of either deep slate or blackstone. I'm probably gonna do deep slate, just because, you know, it's a new block and it's a pain in my you know what to find. So that'll be a challenge for me. So you know what, I love to annoy myself, so why not do that? So yeah, so hello new viewer, hopefully you stay tuned for this. What am I gonna, what food am I gonna eat for this amount of time? Because I think I might have ran out of bread. And you know who runs out of bread but I do. I run out of bread. So don't ask questions. I wonder if that's music this. Wheat! Yes, wheat. Let's go. The wheat boys are back. Boom. Boom, we made all that wheat. I'll probably have to go to the 1.18 chunks just to collect, or think about collecting all this deep slate. Or, you know, I could build it out of blackstone, but I don't know. Should I build it out of blackstone or deep slate? I'm just gonna assume that whoever is in the stream is still here. Which one should I do it out of? Should I, let me look at it on my phone real quick. Either way, should I do it out of deep slate or blackstone? I just want to know. So, you know, which one should I do it out of? Should I do it out of deep slates or blackstone? I don't know which one I'm gonna do. Yeah. So even no one's here anymore. He must have left. Later, I think I'm just gonna, it would be a hard choice. I'm gonna have to go with, it's only gonna be like 2. Instead of change, maybe I could do like, hands reaching out. Like hands made out of blackstone. They're like reaching out to like, what's it called? To just like take it. Or to like hold it down. Maybe I could do like some blackstone hands. Maybe that could work. I don't know. I don't know, man, anymore. I don't know. Don't ask me questions, because I'm not gonna be able to answer them. No, most of the time I won't. Polish, get that polished blackstone on my inventory. Did I just say on my inventory? I meant in my inventory. Polished blackstone, yes. Make it now. I will try to make this work. I will have to make overlayers of, I don't know if I want to do the glass or just, if I want to do glass at all, or just make the hands first, then just put the glass around it. I think I might just put the glass around it, so then I'm going to get to building this first hand. The hands are only going to be like 3 by 3 blocks big, because, you know, I like blackstone and my base is made out of blackstone. So if I ever have a big base project, I would know you'd not like to have to go out and get blackstone, because to be honest with you, I got like 10 shulker box, not even 10, I got like 30,000 shulker boxes of blackstone. I absolutely annihilated. I went to like not a pretty far away, it's quite far away, and I took like all the blackstone deposit for like in a million block radius. So now there is no blackstone, and there's in that specific area, since that's like the end of or where I'm gonna be mining, because I don't want to just mine out the entire just basalt delta and not have anything for my nether hub or any environment near my nether hub. So, you know, that's pretty much the end of where I'm gonna be building that. So I don't know if I will even be able to you know, don't know if I'll even be able to find any a mass amount of deep blackstone ever again. So hopefully this is one, if not my last, or second to last, maybe third to last, if, you know, I'm feeling good. If I'm feeling, risky. This will probably be the second, third, maybe last phase of my base. Before I move on to the other two castles. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do in this world. This took me a year. Imagine two. Imagine all these castles just taking me a year. It would be ridiculous, I know. Now that said, that's probably gonna take a year. Probably gonna take like 2 years to build up both of them. Because this is almost finished. This base is... Oh. Okay.